I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I hate the way you drive my car. I hate it when you stare. I hate your big dumb combat boots and the way you read my mind. I hate you so much it makes me sick. It even makes me rhyme. I hate it. I hate the way you're always right. I hate it when you lie. I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call. But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
Baby, baby.
You know what I want to do?
What is that?
10 things I hate about Drew.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
You're short. Your belly button sticks out. You're a terrible burden on your poor mother and wife. Your obsession with Chris Pratt. Your arrow fixation. Let's see. Your stupid face. You're ugly.
That's just a good show, man. That's just a good show.
10 yet?
I don't know.
Your hair sucks.
I think
Starting line shirt. That band's terrible.
Listen, should I do 10 things I love about you? About Badway?
I would love that.
The list is too long. I don't think I can do 10 of them.
Off the air.
I don't think I could do 10 of them.
Off the air with the lights down.
I'm going to need 100. I'll need 100. We do have a dimmer in this room, so...
Dim the lights.
Well, welcome back to the Last Row podcast. My name is Drew. You already heard from Badway and the things that he hates about me.
There's more.
We want to welcome everyone that's a new listener. For those that don't know, this is the podcast where we watch movies that might not have been loved by the critics, find their silver linings, and fill in the blanks that the movie writers might have left out.
Your stupid headphones.
Hit us up at thelastrowpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod. Facebook.com/thelastrowpod. We are also on Google+. Leave us some comments on the SoundCloud player at any point in the episode. And lastly, if you haven't done so already, we just got a couple new reviews. Head on out to iTunes, give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. Every little bit counts. And we just had a failed experiment on Periscope.
Yes, well, we tried it.
We had a few viewers, but we tried to do episode prep with that. Yeah. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, so we're back. We are a movie podcast, despite our lack of movie content lately. But we're back in the swing of things. 10 things I hate about you. 1999. Rotten Tomatoes, 61%, IMDb, 7.2%. A successful movie. Our first relatively successful movie. But we just wanted to do an excuse to talk about a high school movie and break down these hot relationships.
Yeah.
So, 10 Things I Hate About You is a story of Kat Stratford, who is Julia Stiles, is beautiful, smart, and quite abrasive to most of her fellow teens. I don't know about beautiful.
Most? I would say
beautiful.
All.
Meaning that she doesn't attract many boys. Unfortunately, her younger sister, Bianca... Sexy name.
Alex Mack.
House rules say that she can't date until Kat has a boyfriend. So strings are pulled to set the dour damsel up for... Who wrote this?
Just pulled it from Google.
Soon Kat crosses paths with handsome new arrival Patrick Verona.
Played
by the Joker.
R.I.P.
Will Kat let her guard down enough to fall for the effortlessly charming Patrick?
Is he effortlessly charming, though? He went through a hell of a lot of hoops to try to charm her.
He's pretty dreamy. I mean, he's got the hair thing going.
Yeah, he does.
And the face thing going.
He's got the accent, which is real.
Yeah.
As he tells her.
And he looks like he's 37 years old, but he's actually 19 in this movie.
I was surprised when you told me that he was actually 19 at the time of filming in this movie. One thing that we found out before we did look into this as we were doing some research, as we always do, we found out that this was supposedly adapted from a William Shakespeare play.
Old William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare, called The Taming of the Shrew, which I just found out what the shrew means in terms of in adapted to a female. It's kind of misogynist.
It's a mouse, right?
Kind of misogynist. I don't want to be Polygon here, but, or Vice.com. But, it says that the main plot depicts the courtship of Petruchio.
Verona.
Not Patrick. Petruchio Verona and Katharina, the headstrong... I don't know how to say this word. I should know because I'm pretty sure it's one of my Xbox Live friends' names. Obdurate shrew. Initially, Katharina is an unwilling participant in the relationship, but Petruchio Verona tempts her with his various psychological torments, also known as, quote, taming.
Quote, date rape?
Hold on. Until she becomes a compliant and obedient bride. This is straight from the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
The subplot features a competition between the suitors of Katharina's more desirable sister, Bianca. The play's apparent misogynistic elements have become subject of considerable controversy, particularly among modern scholars, audiences, and readers.
All right. A, that's not this movie. And B, what was Bill Shakespeare doing?
It's pretty controversial.
Can't get away with it in this day and age,
What
Bill.
was that, 15, 20 or something?
You're going to get an article written about your male sexual, I don't know.
Polygon.com is going to be
yeah.
all over you,
Yeah.
and they're going to tell you why they don't stand for what you do.
Ben Couture is coming for your ass.
He is.
All right, so
Vice.com.
careful, Bill.
All the blogs, man. They're coming for you, Billiam.
Yeah.
You better watch out.
So what is this movie, really? Not that. It's not a date rape movie. What is this movie? The premise of the movie is that basically Bianca is the sophomore in high school, the younger sister. She's not allowed to date any of the hot boys until her older
All the
sister,
hot guys.
the older sister Kat, who is Julia Stiles, gets a boyfriend of her own. So you can't do anything until your older sister does it.
Yeah, right. Good luck. Good luck is what I say to her.
First, I want to ask you this question straight off the bat. Let's tangent immediately. What if that applied to you in your life with your brother? You have a younger brother. Pretend the roles were reversed. Say you had an older brother. What if there were other things in life that you couldn't do until he did? Like, say, like you had aspirations to, like, go to college. Say you wanted to go to Harvard. You wanted to study law. But say your brother didn't want to go to college. For whatever reason, like, say he was like he liked to work on cars or whatever.
Yeah.
And your dad was like, nope, you can't go to school until your brother goes to school. Or I don't know. Say you're great at basketball. You want to try out for the team. No, you can't try out for the team until your brother tries out for the team. It's like, at what point do you A, rebel against your father and do it anyway, or B, run out of the house, or C, have a relationship to where your father was estranged within 5 years of you, and you never see him again?
It's pretty high because,
Right.
but so here's the deal. Like, if I try out for the basketball team, my younger brother's not going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
If I go skydiving, my younger brother's not going to get pregnant. What else? I mean, if I go to college, maybe my younger brother will get pregnant.
He probably will.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe he will get someone
So you're
pregnant.
saying the consequences are...
The consequences are different.
Or what if let's take the date thing further. Let's say you're not allowed to get married until your older brother gets married.
So that is I think that's a good
Right?
comparison because I have friends that they, like, culturally,
Yeah.
that's like actually a
All right.
thing. And
You're
that
both,
sucks.
You're both married, but you're not allowed to have your first kid until your older brother has his first kid.
Culturally,
Right?
that is a true thing for some people
That's
that I know.
insane.
And it
So
sucks
what culture
because
is this guy from?
I don't know, man. He's from the gynecology school or whatever he is. He's a midwife or something. Like,
Back in gyno school.
he's just,
That's how they do things.
he's just talking about gynecology.
Anyway,
He's just talking about all that.
so having said that, is that a smart move? Would it backfire?
Yes, it's a
His
terrible
plan?
move because as we find out, Kat already was sleeping around.
Yeah, she was
Not-
sleeping around as a freshman.
Spoiler alert, I know this is, like 15 years later, but the truth is she slept with Joey.
Joey.
And she
Joey.
decided that Joey was not for her. Chody was not for her. And, he maybe he had a chode. I don't know if that's...
Yeah. She was popular. She dated Joey. He basically talked her into sleeping with him, and and then he like screwed her over,
Yes.
physically and metaphorically.
And her mother also left.
Yeah, and her mother left, so that turned her into, oh, you know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what people expect of me. I was popular. Now I'm going to alienate myself from all these people and all these things, and I'm going to go the complete opposite direction because I am a messed up individual.
But do you think that if the dad had boys,
Yeah.
would he do the same thing? Would he would he break the same rules for the boy?
Right.
Or was this just I'm a dad, I'm not really home often. I don't really know how to I can't relate to my daughters.
He's scared of his female daughters.
He can't. Well, I mean, he can't.
As opposed to his male daughters.
He can't. Sorry, this is a train wreck today. He can't relate
away.
to them, I guess, is part of it.
Right.
And he doesn't know how.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be. He's not a bad
He's
dad.
a little afraid. He's a little in over his head, but he's a good guy. But yeah, if it were sons, I feel like the rules would be switched, and it's not really fair. But in all actuality, I could get Ben Couture off me for this. It's different when you have the daughter who's pregnant versus the son who gets a girl pregnant.
But is it?
It's not at all, because you're equally in deep shit, and your lives are equally changed forever. But there's something a little different, because the guy could always be...
Well, he can be a deadbeat.
He could be a deadbeat.
Yeah.
You can't be a deadbeat mother. You have the baby.
Well, you could, but...
Yeah. Well,
so physically you are the one having the baby,
right? Well, I'm saying either if the girl is a deadbeat mother, it basically turns into the family raises the baby.
That's true,
and that's like a burden on the entire family.
Yeah, and I mean the court would award the baby to the mother just because of what it is. But
whereas if the guy is going to be a scumbag about it, then it's like that could happen, and that does happen daily, and that's why a lot of children don't grow up with fathers.
What do you think about the dad? I mean, we find out that he's a single father.
Yeah.
The mother left.
It's always a single father in these movies.
Yeah. With two daughters.
With daughters.
Or multiple daughters,
right.
and maybe like a young boy.
Yeah.
Like
but it's always like a teen daughter with a single father. It's always a single father with these movies.
How would you rate this guy? Like, do you think this guy was a good father? I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, he's a good father. He's like you said, he's having trouble relating. We find out at the end of the movie, like he kind of does know what's going on. He understands that he doesn't have a lot of power over them, which no parents really do have power over their teens.
At a certain point,
certain point, they you can only take them so far, and then they make their own choices. I like the dad in the movie for the most part, but he was a little self-aware. Like he was kind of like where he was making smart ass remarks and talking to himself. It's kind of like he was laid on thick.
He was too animated for me. Like I much prefer the scholar, the doctor of pools.
The doctor of pools.
The doctor of pooling.
Yeah.
Of pool cleaning, pool establishments. I much prefer Kevin Pollak from She's All That to the doctor, because he actually he was funny. He was natural. Like this guy seemed like a cartoon character.
Yeah. They were both in over their heads, but at least Dr. Poole was more relatable. And obviously this is a very easy comparison, because She's All That and 10 Things I Hate About You both came in the same year, I think. Maybe within a year of each other, maybe 2 years.
And they're both doctors.
They're both doctors.
They are both doctors.
One
of pool, one of gynecology,
We got the outcast Lady Boggs versus Cat. It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
But if we're going with teen movies with single fathers with daughters, I'm going with Dan Hedaya.
Not Joe Mantegna.
Which, easily confused the two. From Clueless. That dad was no nonsense. He understood his daughter was a handful, but he taught her the art of negotiation. He knew that she's smart, and he knew that she was not going to get in trouble. And you had the stepbrother, Paul Rudd, who was kind of a creep.
Hot
Long
guy.
Run, even though they didn't paint him as such.
Not to be confused with Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah, not to be confused with all those guys.
The three actors that look exactly the same.
So,
but you're voting for him?
I'm voting for him as single father of a teenage daughter of the year, of the decade of the 90s.
Can we give out an award for that?
Yes.
We got to start putting awards on the website. I also, this doesn't really apply, but I was trying to rack my brain. What other single fathers were out there?
Yeah.
And, what came to me was, martial arts specialist Liam Neeson in
Liam
Love
Neeson.
Actually. He had the young boy. It's not the same thing.
No, it's different, but does he have wisdom?
He is. He's very wise.
Okay.
And he was able to help the son find love. I feel like we should do that movie at Christmas.
So
it's a good way to analyze
So if they did a
relationships.
sequel, if it was Love Definitely.
Yeah.
Or Love Maybe.
Yeah. Definitely maybe.
Yeah, Love Maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe they could explore that relationship further.
Yes.
But one more thing about the dad before we move on. I got to ask the question. I mean, since they're always a single father, we always have to ask the question, why?
Yeah.
Why single father? We know that she's not dead. She left. Why did she leave? Was it the daughter? Was she just a huge raging bitch? Was that it?
But I think part of why she became unpleasant or a shrew, as the thesaurus would tell us, is that her mom left. So I think that was one of the reasons.
The chicken or the egg thing, though.
Yeah, I don't think that I think the mom probably maybe the dad was creeping on his patience or something. I don't know.
Here's my theory: the girl is so messed up, Kat.
Yeah.
And she's so antisocial. Maybe this whole sex thing with the hot guy in freshman year was a cover up. What if that she was such a handful The mother was leaving, and she told the daughter, "I'm leaving," and guess what? It is your fault. Like, you know how you try to paint a picture, hey, you know, mommy and daddy are breaking up, but we love you both.
Yeah.
What if she's like, I'm leaving and it's your fault?
It's not your fault.
Yes.
But it is your fault.
It is your fault.
It's your fault. That's
You're
why
too
I'm
much,
out.
and I'm leaving. I have to go.
I mean, that would explain why
And
she's
then-
so messed up.
And now she's so messed up, and now she's so antisocial. She doesn't trust anyone, and she hates everyone.
It would make sense.
You know?
I mean,
Yeah, a
maybe
little
there's
bit.
more to the story
A little bit.
than we know. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting premise because she didn't die.
There was another clue in the movie where the younger daughter had on the pearls of
Yes.
the mom. And Kat flipped out. The older daughter, she was like, "You're wearing mom's pearls? Who says you can do that?" She was almost protective of it.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't that way.
But she said Dad gave him to me.
I'm pretty sure, you know, this dad, Larry, who was, or his name's Walter, played by Larry Miller, who's
Larry
like,
Walter,
he's
whatever.
that guy.
It's the same thing.
He's that guy in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of balding, a little pudgy. He's delivering babies. One could misconstrue that kind of job as feminine, if you will. Maybe back in
I
the
guess.
day.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Sorry, Ben.
We're gonna get a letter.
Yeah, we're gonna let her. So maybe it's like she found a hot guy of her own.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she found her own.
Maybe she ran off. You
She
know.
maybe found her own Joker, her own Heath Ledger.
The But the other thing, one last thing about the dad before we move on. Why is it that every dad in these movies is so damn quirky? Like, he's into like weird exercise equipment.
Yeah.
Like, he has the most 90s of exercise equipment. Like, he has the stationary bike, but
Yes.
it looks like it
Yeah.
came from the infomercial at 11 p.m.
He has what I believe is an abdoer.
Yeah. He has the abdoer. Shit's not working.
Yep, he's got the rubber bands.
Yeah, the resistance bands. I mean, you know, I know that he's busy at work. He doesn't have much time to work out, but you know, come on, man, step
Not
up your
working
game.
out that much.
Step up
He's got
your game.
He's got the pudge.
So the next topic that we could talk about is Kat Stratford. We kind of touched on her a little bit. You know, she's very difficult. She challenges everybody. We talked a little bit about how she compares to Lainey Boggs. Is there anyone that this girl is actually nice to? She seems to have one friend.
She has one friend, the Shakespeare girl, and the Shakespeare girl, actually is kind of annoyed with her too.
Yes.
The few times they show them hanging out together, Kat
Lainey
is
Boggs.
very bossy, and she's very demanding of her friend and say, "Let's go here," and she's like, "Okay," she doesn't want to, but she goes anyway. She kind of like bullies her into not going to prom, which they both end up going anyway.
Right.
But she kind of like browbeats her, like, "You're going to prom? Like, ew, why would you do that?" It was like,
The one thing that I
go
would
to prom.
The one thing I would tell you about her is it's blatantly obvious to me that she's trying so damn hard to be a nonconformist.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to describe it in that you could see the things.
It makes sense within the plot of the movie because she went the opposite direction. She was popular, and she's going out of her way to become unpopular and be mean to everyone, so
Right.
nobody likes her or nobody expects her behaviors.
But it was blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
Like, she plays soccer.
Right.
Do you think that somebody who's trying to be a nonconformist would play soccer?
No.
It's an organized sport.
Right, it's an organized sport, and rah, 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 varsity, blah, 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 they would poo-poo that. But on the other hand, she's trying really hard to get into this all-girls school.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs something put on her little college resume.
That's true.
Maybe that's, you know, I got to get an extracurricular activity in here somewhere.
She kind of went 90% in to becoming an nonconformist because maybe she played soccer throughout and she refused to quit because she loved it so much.
Right. So we're talking about the comparison to Lady Boggs, and that's just the opposite. Whereas Kat in this movie tries really hard to stand out and be different.
Right.
Lady Boggs is being herself.
Right.
And she's just different. And because she's herself, all the jerks in the high school make fun of her and think she's ugly because she's wearing a ponytail, glasses, and all that stuff. So,
well, people in this movie are just like scared. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk to her.
yeah, well, she scared everyone
she's
off.
raging.
Yeah, right.
But
she's not a part of any crew, as we'll get into later. She's just stay away from her.
there's a couple other things that I think we should talk about. And the one is that, you know, as you go through the movie, you find out that Heath Ledger was paid to date her.
Yes.
How much money in pre-transformation, you know, when she was mean
Yes.
and not nice to people, how much money would it take for you to try to go out with her?
See, this is interesting because let's get into the mind of a bad way.
What's your type? What's your type, Badway?
See,
Tell everybody.
I don't like people either, for the most part.
So, are you like Heath Ledger?
Yeah, but I'm not a jerk. I'm nice. I'm very nice to people, but I'm very hard to warm up to people. So I kind of I get her.
You get it?
I get her.
Is she your dream woman?
Maybe she is.
Do you love her?
I don't think I love her.
Do you like her?
I would have to thaw her frozen heart first.
You need to show her the love that Badway can provide.
I think this is what Heath Ledger's character appreciated eventually, is that the challenge was fun.
Yes.
It was the challenge. And I feel it wouldn't take much money. I would take, first of all, when you take the money, it's always going to come back to you. Oh, in every movie.
He should have told her right away. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that later. But if I were taking money, if I was that kind of guy to take money, I would just take the equal amount that would cost me, to break even, to go on the dates and to buy the dinners and pay off the PA guy so I could sing the song.
So you can sing?
Yeah. I would just try to break even. I wouldn't try to profit off of our male model
trying
friend.
to date her?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it would be a fun challenge. And also, you know that there's something going on in her brain, that she probably has a lot of worldviews that you want to find out. Why are you so mean? Why will you be nice to me? Is there any way you'll be nice to me? You know? And that's kind of like the way that Heath Ledger goes about it. I'd like to be in his shoes. Now, I don't think I'm as beautiful as Heath Ledger.
Dude, you're totally beautiful.
And not to play looks here, but Heath Ledger is a little bit out of her league looks-wise.
I agree with that.
Right?
I totally agree with that.
This is what I noticed when watching
He's so damn dreamy.
Yeah, this is what I noticed when watching this movie, is that she is like a generic female in this movie. I'm not talking about personality.
Dude.
I'm just talking about she doesn't look like anything. Her body has no like distinguishable features.
She's just a regular person.
Her face has no distinguishable features. She just looks like female woman.
Dude,
you know?
I'm calling a polygon.
Yeah.
You better.
No sexism.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like
No.
she looks like
She's
female
regular.
woman.
She's
She
a regular
doesn't
person.
She doesn't look beautiful. She doesn't look ugly. She doesn't look one way. She just looks like female woman. Like if you create a character in a video game,
That's
like,
who it is.
And you choose male body or female body.
That's what
it's
it
like,
is?
Or male figure, female figure. Like you'd get her. Like that.
Yeah.
Would, if you the blank slate, you'd get she's a blank slate.
Blank slate.
Yeah.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
But let me say this though. The one thing about her, and you can see it, you can tell she's trying to be a nonconformist because she is pretty cool. And you can tell, like you can see little hints of it. Like she was messing with them a little bit. Like she went to the show. She was having a good time at the show.
She's
not
a punk rock.
Yeah,
right?
she's not a miserable
she's
person.
She's not like a drunken mess. You know, She doesn't like to drink a lot. You know,
only a few times.
Well, when she's
right. No, but I think that's the thing. Like you can tell that she's trying so damn hard to be like not like cool or whatever that it's like you can tell that she's bleeding through. Like she is cool. She likes good music. She likes to hang out at parties. She likes to do all the stuff that he eventually does fall in love with.
She's good at poetry, as we find out later, and you know she's got a lot going for her. She has a lot of interesting tidbits that you need to unravel, so to speak.
And she tried to get Patrick Verona out of detention by showing the teacher a little bit of a surprise.
Right.
She flashed the teacher.
See, now I don't want to play that would never happen in a real life game, but if that were to happen in a real life,
oh, you'd be in trouble.
Is that like expulsion? Or is that, will the teacher then hit on her eventually? And is it his fault? See, this is a whole gray area.
That's definitely
here.
his fault. I mean, you can't.
Is it?
Go down
but
that
it's
road.
like, but hey, that whole scene where Verona was in detention and she tries to like basically, she was touching him a lot. She was kind of like twisting him, and then she flashed him.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to believe?
The question that the teacher would ask is like, is this really happening? Is this real life?
Yeah.
Like, and it's
he handled it like a pro.
He did. He actually did handle it like a pro. It was a soccer coach, so he knows. He knew what was up.
Yeah.
But, not to quote, Terry Silver, but he knows.
But I'm pretty sure that's grounds for expulsion.
Oh, she would definitely go to
If
jail.
you flash your pubes to a teacher.
So let's talk about Ricky or Patrick. we keep
Nicky.
calling him something Ricky
Verona.
Patrick Verona.
He's Verona.
Patrick Verona, aka Heath Ledger, aka the Joker, aka one of the Grimm brothers,
AKA Brokeback.
aka Brokeback Mountain, aka
Rest in peace.
dreamy, awesome actor. And you can see the flashes of it in this movie. I thought he was great. Loved him.
Yeah.
But he's this scary outcast. He's kind of like the, we talk about cliques in a little bit, but he's kind of like the shop kid. Not that that's like a clique or anything, but he's standoffish. He smokes cigarettes. He hangs out like with his like, you know.
You don't talk to him for fear of him like
He'll pound your face, as they would say.
He may not even have pounded any faces. He just looks like he will at any moment.
He's only got one class. It's woodshop.
Yeah, he's always in woodshop class. I think there was one scene where he was playing with fire and chemistry.
Yeah, he also was in the poetry class for like a day.
Yeah. It seems like every time they were talking to the dude that he was in shop class.
But the first question that I thought of as we were watching the movie together the other day is like, why? Like, and this comes back to when Andrew Keegan was trying to like bait him into taking this money, take this girl out on a date. Like, was he really doing it because he wanted to try to date her? He wasn't trying to screw her over. He was just trying to take his money. Like, it wasn't about the girl. It wasn't trying about making the girl feel bad or anything.
He didn't care. It was like, all right, I'll make a quick buck.
He's like, oh, I'm making free money. No one likes this girl anyway, whatever. She's not going to date me, but at least I'll take the money and try.
Yeah.
But, I guess, like, why wouldn't he just take the money and tell her, this guy's trying to pay me to go on a date with you. Do you want in on this?
She might even, like, appreciate that. And, like,
let's get back at him.
Yeah, and they might get to know each other and learn about each other through that, because she might think that's pretty cool. Like, hey, that's funny how, like, you told me right away.
Yes.
Let's go here. I have this money here. Let's go get a drink, or we can't get a drink there in high school. Go to dinner, whatever. I would say go see a movie, but she would probably like shit on every movie she ever saw.
Yeah.
Like if she saw this movie, like she would be like, she would rip it to shreds.
I mean, they could have fleeced Andrew Keegan.
Yeah.
They could have taken this guy to the cleaners. Taken him to the cleaners. That's one of my favorite expressions ever, by the way, for ripping somebody off.
Yeah.
They're taking us to the cleaners. Yeah. That's a great expression. Yeah. They could have taken him to the cleaners.
They could have.
They could have cleaned him.
They definitely could have, yeah. And he kind of did. I mean, he probably spent over maybe around $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. How much money do you think he really spent?
I don't know how much that guitar was that he ended up buying, but
I feel like he'd have been better off going to the girl's dad and giving him $1,000 and said, "Can I date your daughter?"
Yeah. So when he serenaded her on through the PA system, he gave the PA guy $300. So that's $300 alone right there. So speaking of the PA scene, so there's a scene where Heath Ledger screws up, or maybe he doesn't screw up. Maybe Kat's just
Kat's really pissed at him.
She's really horrible. She's mad at him. So Kat's playing soccer. She's practicing soccer. So Heath Ledger pays off the PA guy and the band, this marching band,
and whoever else,
and does the "I Love You, Baby." I don't know. Well, I love you, baby. I don't know the title of the song. You know what I mean? But you get it. So is that does that fit his character?
No.
Is that something he would do?
It's not. Not at all. But it would have won me over.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I was playing soccer with my girls down on the field.
Listen, she's into punk rock.
That's true.
She's not going to fall for that lovey-dovey 70s
But it was
song.
Sweet, man. It was sweet.
Yeah, it was. Did it thaw her frozen heart? Maybe that's the thawing.
It put the space heater on, put it that way.
Yeah.
It might not have been, the central air, but
the first layer was chipped.
It was you got the ice pick out.
It's like in Encino Man when they dug up Brendan Fraser and they were using blow dryers.
Why haven't we done that movie, by the way?
It's like the couple drips started.
Yeah.
It was like that. All right.
No, I think, but that's the proof. Again, she's not a nonconformist. She does like these nice gestures. He was trying to win her over and he did a nice, sweet thing for her. That's the proof that she's not really terrible.
Right.
And she's putting on a front to try to be terrible.
Right.
She's trying to be terrible.
Yeah. He blew past one of her walls there.
Yeah. Okay. The smile on her face
yeah.
was bigger than I've ever seen in that movie. And
she did it. She almost did like a "you son of a bitch" smile.
Yeah, she did. She pulled the Timmy Olyphant from Girl Next Door. Like, you son of a bitch.
You got one of those smiles.
No, she did. And what about that high school, man? So that was like a college stadium.
Yeah, it was a college campus, basically, housing high schoolers.
The band plays on the roof at the end of the movie. So 1999.
Nobody's listening to it. We can't hear anything from up there.
What kind of stuff does Verona do on the weekend?
Well, we know Verona goes to biker bars.
Yeah.
Plays pool.
Is he hustling people there?
Oh, he definitely knows the pool game. I would like to think, but here's the thing. He would get his ass kicked by those biker dudes. It's like, he's a tough guy in high school. He might be 19 years old.
It's a whole nother level.
He got into a fight with a real man.
Like, they got like the Sons of Anarchy hanging out there.
I like to think that maybe he hangs out. I don't know.
Maybe Darby's crew's there.
Well, Darby's crew. He goes fishing. Maybe he has a part-time job at like a mechanic shop or something like that. I can see him fixing up cars.
He has a pretty sweet truck.
Yeah. I don't see him petty vandalism.
Yeah.
I don't see him
Petty theft, larceny.
I don't see him thieving. I
He's
don't
not a
see him
thief?
beating people up because he's not that bad of a guy. He just puts on that front.
He's kind of like her. He's putting the front on.
Yeah, right.
So two of the lesser characters, we'll kind of bang through these real quick. Bianca.
We'll bang.
Calling up Polygon, man. You better watch out. I'm going to call them up.
That's my goal. That's my goal.
How dare you make a joke?
My goal is to get called a sexist by the internet shamers.
Yeah.
So.
But how dare you make a joke?
Yeah.
But Bianca, Alex Mack, looks like the kind of girl that would collect gel pens in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a jelly.
She'd have a sweet trapper keeper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, she's kind of shallow. She wants to date Joey, a.k.a. Ronnie Lips Waterman.
Ronnie Lips Waterman, for those who know.
The deep Boy Meets World fans.
Yeah.
But she wants to date him. She tricks Cameron, the new guy, who is also the other character. We could do both of these at the same time.
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt, also known as James Cameron.
Cameron James.
Cameron James.
His name's Cameron James. We might call him James Cameron. It's not on purpose. It's just we get a flip.
Yeah. She's kind of shallow. James Cameron's first, or Cameron's first day, JGL's first day at the new place.
Yeah.
He meets, this other guy we'll talk about in a minute. Gets walked through. He sees her right away. The sky parts. Yeah. The sun goes on her face.
He starts like quoting poetry.
He's in love with her.
Yes.
He's in love with Alex Mack. She's not a puddle at this point.
No. He's a puddle.
He's a puddle. He turns into the puddle.
Yeah.
But
he melts for her.
He wants to date her. He knows nothing about her.
Yeah.
He just loves her.
Sure.
Totally shallow.
Yep.
But, who hasn't been there before?
Which is funny because like we were talking about this as soon as the movie ended. We watched the movie together. And the movie... The plot is driven through these two characters, and the younger sisters need to date. But really, we don't know much about either of these characters.
It doesn't matter.
Because the movie is basically about Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger.
Yes.
So it's kind of funny how the movie, it paints these two characters as important, but we barely know anything about them.
Right. Do you think that she was a nice person putting on her own front? Or do you think that
she was young and stupid. I don't think she was trying to be anything.
Yeah.
I mean, she was trying to use Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but I feel like she was just using her I'm hot and I know it kind of thing.
She was kind of naive, and Kat kind of pulls that on her because when she finally tells her, like, yo, I dated Joey. I hooked up with him, and he's terrible.
Yeah, and she steps out of that snobby phase pretty quickly as the movie goes on. But no, I don't think she was a bad person or anything like that. I just feel like she was young and she was using her popularity kind of thing to be something that maybe she wasn't.
What do you think about James Cameron? Cameron James.
I'll tell you what,
Cameron.
There's not much to think about him because we don't know anything about him. It's like he's this pipsqueak kid that wants to date this beautiful girl just because he sees her. She doesn't seem like his type, but he's just trying to go for it. And other than that, like, what else do we know about him?
Yeah.
Is he smart? I don't know. He uses big words and describing her beauty in one scene, and then he tries to fake learn French on another scene, and that she's actually smarter than him in that sense.
The movie goes as far to even say that the movie doesn't care about him, and you know why? Because when he goes into the guidance counselor's office, it was kind of like waiting, where they wouldn't let the one kid talk. Like he says to the guidance counselor or whatever, oh yeah, I've been to 9 schools in 10 years. My dad, and she goes, oh, doesn't matter. I don't care. And she cuts him off. Yeah. And it's one of those situations where it's like the movie is self-aware. Like he doesn't matter.
You're expecting the backstory and you get nothing.
Got to tell you, I feel like they wasted him.
Yeah. So real quick, let me ask you this. So he went to 9 schools in 10 years. Give me some of the cities he lived in. Ready? Go.
Oh man. He lived in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
I'm going to say he lived in Youngstown, Ohio.
Youngstown. All right.
He lived in Honolulu, Hawaii.
All right.
Because, so maybe he's a military dad or military
family. Is that what we're going for, military?
Maybe he lived in Germany because, like, anywhere the Air Force bases are or something. Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Tallahassee. No, I'm sorry. Tampa Bay.
Florida.
Tampa.
Oh,
he lived in Tampa.
Terrible.
Maybe he lived in, somewhere in North Dakota. Somewhere, maybe that's not a military thing, but just somewhere in North Dakota. Like, I'm trying to think of very remote. Maybe he lived in, like, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Punxsutawney.
Pittsburgh, PA. Yeah. No, but I feel like he's been all over the place.
Right.
He's got some experience.
He's got hoes in different area codes. Okay, got it. All right.
They're coming for you, man. You better watch
I'm trying.
They're coming for you.
I'm actively trying. I'm
You're
trolling
such
at
a
this point. I'm
misogynist,
trolling
man.
at this point. All right, moving on.
So Joey Lips, or Ronnie Lips Waterman.
Joey Lips Keegan.
Joey Danger.
So let's get this out of the way. Joey Donner is the name of the character. Andrew Keegan is the name of the real life actor.
Yes.
Ronnie Lips Waterman is the obscure one episode off Boy Meets World character.
I wonder.
Only the freaks of Boy Meets World fans know about. We speak about Ronnie Lips Waterman almost monthly, for no reason whatsoever, and it just so happened he was in this movie, so we were very excited about that.
How many people turn this off by
So
now?
yeah, I don't care. Please tweet us if you know who Ronnie Lips Waterman is.
If you're still listening, just tweet us.
Tweet us, email us, let us know that you know who Ronnie Lips is. If
Ask the
not,
Last
then
Row
forget
Pod.
about it. Somebody send us the screenshot.
Yeah. Text.
You know?
Send us the screenshot on Twitter if you know who we're talking about.
And if just so we know that someone else knows what we're talking about. But that's out of the way. If you hear Lips, then you know we're talking about this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So he's a Sears catalog model.
Yes, and I love that. I love that backstory about him.
Yeah.
Is that he's a male model.
What other things is this guy modeling for? Is he the guy? Did he start out like Eric Matthews did, wearing the lobster suit at the mall, twirling the sign?
Oh yeah. So then he probably went on to he was doing a sock ad in the movie for Sears. I could see him doing a watch ad where it's where he has the watch up by his chin,
like Eli Manning.
Yeah, where it's you show the watch but the face is showing.
Unstoppable.
Yeah. Also, he's got a hot bod. He can he could be Abercrombie, shirt off.
Yeah.
You could do that. Obviously, no doubt about it.
What if he did Preparation H or some type of like a Viagra, not Viagra, but you know what I'm saying, the embarrassing type thing, because everybody's got to start like Bryan Cranston with a Preparation H.
Yeah, I could see him definitely in a not Pepsi because Pepsi's too big. I'm trying to think of
RC Cola, Sam's
ad,
Club, Dr. Bob,
where he drinks his he has that sparkly smile on his face,
like the Mentos commercial.
No, yeah, or a toothpaste commercial.
Yes,
it's a toothpaste commercial. Or his pearly whites, he's brushed them. I get it.
No,
that's what it is.
I agree. I mean, one day aspiring to do Playgirl, it seems. Yeah. That's all he cares about.
If Playgirl was still a magazine, he would totally do Playgirl.
I like the one note here, and I guess it's fitting, but quote, he only wants to bang Bianca.
That's his goal in life.
He doesn't want to date her
for this hour and a half of this movie.
No dating.
No.
He doesn't care.
So, and then she finds that out immediately. She learns quickly that he's really only thinks about him, his modeling career, and his penis. And that's all he thinks about.
Walter's scared of?
Huh.
Walter's scared of Joey.
Yes.
Because Joey is the type of guy that would potentially trick her and maybe make her get it pregnant and then leave her.
That's the face of teen pregnancy is Ronnie Lips Waterman here.
Because he's a scumbag.
Joey Donner.
Yeah. I don't know why I want to call him Joey Danger.
Joey Danger. Because your lips are in danger. It's fine.
It's just, whatever. And just a fun fact here. I'm pretty sure that he is the real actor, Andrew Keegan.
Yeah.
Ronnie Lips Waterman is now some type of cult leader in LA or something.
You know what?
I saw an article on Vice.
You know what's funny? I didn't know that. He has that face, though.
Yeah.
He has the
just
face.
Want to follow him.
You want to follow him. It's a very kind face.
He has his own religion or something, and it's all about living. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a cult. I guess you could define a cult different ways, but I did see something that
he has a religious following.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Whatever. He's a scumbag, and he gets kicked in the nuts a couple times. Whatever happens. The other guy, Michael. He's the guy from Harold and Kumar.
The guy that befriends R. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He said, "Oh yeah, I was told to show you around."
Yeah, this is another guy who's in everything. He's in Harold and Kumar. He's the elf from the Santa Claus.
Yes.
He's in a million tiny bit.
Probably in Criminal Minds or something like that. Some TV show.
An episode of CIT, CTI, CGI,
CSI,
CGI,
CSI. Yeah. There's nothing really important to say about this guy other than he's another piece of the story, but. I guess the one thing is how important is the first person that you meet when you go to a new school? Yeah. They open your world, whether you think certain things about some people, because he was going around saying, "Oh, this kid's a jerk. That guy's this." He's trying to help him out, but he's also inflicting his own opinion on him.
Let me put you on the spot here. I never really went to a new school. Well, I did, but it was 5th grade, and that's kind of different. You went to private school through 8th grade?
Yes.
And then went to our public high school in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Do you know the first person you met?
Man, I met a bunch of people because I went to it was like a band thing the first day.
Yeah, band.
Yeah.
So I don't know, was there a grand, did somebody take you by the hand and show you the ropes?
Not really.
Or does that ever happen?
Because everybody knew each other.
I feel like that doesn't happen.
No, it
ever.
doesn't happen.
You don't go to the principal's office, come out and say, "Here, this guy is Jason. He'll show you around." And that never happens.
It is kind of funny though, because I was saying this to you when we were watching the movie. One of the things that I find funny is the new kid. He's oh, he's in with the quote. It's so stereotypical. He's in with the geek crowd.
Yeah.
Because the popular kids in these movies, they already have their friends. They don't need a new friend.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to befriend you. You have to
Yeah,
befriend
you have to
them.
impress them.
And that's like a movie trope. You know,
Yeah.
we talk about movie tropes a lot.
And the scene of, let me show you around campus. Here's the geeks. Here's the nerds. Here's the dorks. Here's the jocks.
Here's the coffee kids.
That's in every freaking high school movie. And specifically this movie, it's like they lifted it straight from Clueless. Like
Yes.
it was the exact same thing. They were outside. Only the only difference is Cher in Clueless was a popular girl. She's kind of befriending the new girl, trying to make her popular.
Yeah.
Whereas, unfortunately, Joseph Gordon-Levitt meets kind of a loner, dorky kind of guy who doesn't really know anybody. He just knows everything about everybody, or so he thinks.
I think kind of hitting on that, you know, there's like some interesting clicks that I think came up here, like Coffee Kids, White Rastas,
Yeah.
Cowboys, Future MBAs. They went a little more comical than other
Yeah.
movies, but it is in the Clueless vein,
Right.
and like Clueless. But it was different than She's All That, you know, where they kind of did that too.
Yeah, She's All That was more generic, and I think She's All That wasn't as self-aware as this movie is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's try something different. You know, we kind of talked about the characters,
Yes.
but when we were prepping for this episode, if you saw us on Periscope, you would know.
Yes,
But,
all two of you.
all
Yes.
three of us. But when we were prepping for this episode, you know, we thought, how can we best describe the relationships? Because this movie is a relationship movie. So we decided to write haikus. So we have a haiku for James Cameron James, and Bianca. We have a haiku of Kat and Patrick Verona. We have a haiku for Ronnie Lips and Bianca.
Yeah.
Joey Danger, Joey. we have a haiku from Michael and the Shakespeare Girl, and then we have a father-daughter haiku.
Yeah.
So we kind of went and did these. Let's take turns reading them off. If you're not familiar with a haiku, it's a 575 syllables.
Syllables. Yes.
So we try to get a little creative, and we
Sure.
try to sum up their relationship.
Yeah, and then we'll touch on each briefly.
Yeah, and then we also rated their chance of relationship success for the future.
So should I start or should you start?
You know what? Why don't you start? Go
Okay.
ahead. You read the first one.
So this is Cameron James, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Bianca, Alex Mack. New kid sees Alex Mack. Wants hottie, but can't have her. Till bitch sister dates dudes. Does that sum it up? Is that pretty easy?
It's creative.
Can we snap that on the back of the DVD?
Yeah,
cover?
I think they should do this with more things.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think their chance of relationship success is?
It's-
Cameron James and Bianca.
We have it pointed at 51% chance of success because
Yeah.
they're sophomores right now and they're going into summer break. Prom just ended and they just finished prom together. So they're together. They're going to be together the whole summer. But once junior year starts and once word gets out that Bianca
She's on the
is
market.
allowed to date any guy she damn well pleases, there's going to be a lot of beef coming at her, man. There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of beefcakes, a lot of cheesecakes,
A lot of scumbags.
a lot of scumbags, a lot of Joeys,
A lot of pervs.
a lot of Joeys coming at her, and I don't know if she's going to be able to fend them off because Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he might not have that much more to offer. You know, who
Yeah.
knows? And she's going to be weak,
She might go back into her shallow phase.
right?
Too.
She's going to be weak to. Oh man, this guy's really nice, but man, that guy's got a Corvette. I don't know, man.
He's got a Z28.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. All right.
So, do you think it was realistic how they ended up together?
Yeah, I do, because
Yeah.
I think, you know, at heart she was kind of geeky in her right. She was pretty, but just
Yeah.
because you're pretty doesn't mean you're like
Right.
popular or you want to run with that crowd. Like,
Yeah.
she actually was a nice person.
You know what they didn't focus on much, but maybe it was a turning point in her character was when she was leaving the party
Yeah.
and her friend Gabrielle Union, who was barely in it, but she was Bianca's friend for a little bit in the movie.
Yeah.
She like basically once she knew that she didn't want to date the Joey guy, she jumped right on her.
Yeah.
And like she stole her right away.
Bad friend.
So maybe she realized, all right, maybe I am hanging out with shallow people, shallow friends. Maybe I'm a little shallow. Maybe it's a little soul searching. So maybe that's what turned her character around.
Yeah, and I think that you know, I think ultimately like how quickly she realized that Joey Danger was so bad. He was so dangerous.
Yeah.
I think she was so quick to kind of like to actually turn, you know, heel turn or whatever, to be like, you know what, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
So, you know, had she been really shallow, she would have just dated him anyway.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next.
So let's do Kat and Patrick Verona.
Verona. This is Julie Stiles, Heath Ledger.
Okay, so Joker paid to date Shrew. So male model can hit that. Ice Queen ain't about it.
Ain't about it.
What's their chance of relationship success?
Oh man, it's we got it at a 32.6%
So-
success rate.
She wants to go to Sarah Lawrence University,
Yeah.
which is on the East Coast, and they are in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, they're in Seattle.
They're in Seattle, hence the coffee click.
Yes.
I don't know how much this would work out. I mean, I think they're good for each other. I think they're
Sure.
a great match. I just don't know because she has her dream set on going to that school.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though. He doesn't seem like the college type, and he doesn't seem like the type that cares about his hometown because it's not really his hometown.
He might
because
move around.
He moved around too. So I think he would be very easy to just after high school graduate to pick up and follow her. I think that would very easily happen in this scenario.
Maybe we should up it then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not 32.6.
But at the same token, I feel like maybe she might fall back into her own ways.
Yeah.
Like, did she really do a 180? Or was she, maybe it might just be, she might see him as a summer fling.
That's
She
true.
might
too.
not see him as potential, as husband material.
I mean, what was that Shakespeare play? The Taming of the
The
Shrew?
Taming of the Shrew.
Which is pretty bad.
She might have to tame
Bad.
his shrew.
That's a bad
And then,
name.
yeah. So,
But yeah, I think, as we said in the thing, Joker paid
Yeah.
to date Shrew.
but on the other hand, if she's going to Sarah Lawrence,
Yeah.
all girls school, she might need some male companionship, and it might be hard for her to go out there and get a date, because she's surrounded by women. Maybe she would like his company, but I give it a year.
You know what I think?
I give it a year. What do you think?
I think that she breaks up with him. She moves to Sarah Lawrence, and he gets a couple of scars on his face.
Oh, yeah?
and he moves to a little town called Gotham City.
You want to know how he got those scars?
No, that's so cheesy and terrible. That was the stupidest thing. I should delete that. But that's dumb. But moving on, let's talk about Ronnie Lips and
All right,
Bianca.
so
aka
Joey the male model, and Bianca Alex Mack, the younger sister.
This is your best work, by the way.
Virgin younger sis, hunted by hot male model, dumps his ass quickly.
It's perfect because she does dump his
Yes,
ass quickly.
That's the extent of their relationship.
She realizes that this guy's a douche.
Yeah, they're hanging out at the big party, and all he wants to talk about is his modeling, and then she basically blows him off. And then he comes back, and he's still trying to get with her, and she sees right through him. Well, she sees that, all right, this guy's only out for one thing, is to get with me, and I'm better than that. Get out of my face.
And their chance of relationship success is minus 100%.
Yeah, it's over before it started. It lasted half of a date at a house party
So two last ones
at
here.
Bogie Lowenstien's.
Great name, by the way. Solid name. The second to last one here is Michael and the Shakespeare Girl, which I don't even know her name.
Yes.
So we'll go through these pretty quick.
So the kid that showed Joseph Gordon-Levitt around.
Yes.
So he gets a little romance. So how does that work out?
Who is this weird girl? Side plot really not needed. Mike gets happy end
There it is.
because they fall in
Yeah,
love.
the movie needed Mike to have redemption at the
Yes.
end because he was he was being put down the entire movie, and you have to boost him back up at the end, and there you go. So he gets to date the friend of Kat, and that's a beautiful ending. Not totally necessary.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be there, but
What do you say their 100? What do you think their chance? 100%?
it's about a 100% success rate because who's gonna take her freakish Shakespeare
Yeah.
love?
He was really into it.
She was role playing Shakespeare, and he's desperate. He'll take anything. So
He was really into it.
yeah. So I think they're perfect for each other. They might end up going to the same school. Maybe they'll both do theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got one more here. Why don't you tell us about the father-daughter relationship?
So one more. The last relationship in the movie is the father with the daughters. So the dad, Larry is afraid. Wife left him with teen daughters. Doesn't want grandchild.
I think that pretty much accurately describes him pretty
Yeah,
well.
That sums it up. So there you go. There's your haiku 10 things I hate about you. Since the movie's very poetic, we decided to throw some poetry back at you guys. And if you have your own, if you want to send any,
Yeah.
please, by all means.
Send us an email at thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll read some of them on the air if you send them through. We'll even read the crappy ones.
Tweet,
So
tweet us at the Last Row Pod. So there's just two things I want to talk to you about before we sign off.
Yes.
I know we're close to time here, but Bogie Lowenstien's party.
Lowenstien.
Like, I know we're jumping around here.
Yeah.
We promised people we wouldn't, but here we are.
We always jump.
This party. So the premise is, they need to throw a party in every high school movie. So they created this party of this guy, Bogie Lowenstien, who is a golf enthusiast, head of the future NBA club.
Yes.
This guy's also been in some other things. I'm pretty sure that he's the guy that starts the slow clap in Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure that he's the guy.
Maybe they pulled him on purpose.
I'm pretty sure that it's him.
Yeah.
But having said that, how would you rate this high school party, Bogie Lowenstien, who, by the way, wasn't even intended to be a rager?
Yes.
They set this up. They started taking flyers and they said free beer because they wanted to screw this guy over.
Yeah, they photoshopped the flyers to turn his small party into a rager in order to try to facilitate the relationship between Cat and the Joker.
Would you have a good time at this party?
I would definitely have a good time at this party. This party is a solid 7 out of 10, maybe
7,
6.5.
Why do you say that? Like compare it to let's compare it to some other
we'll get into it,
parties.
but describing this party, it's weird because it's a very nice house. It's huge, so there's a lot of potential there. The funny thing is, though, is that like they sent the flyers out. It's free beer, but people were still bringing kegs.
They brought their own kegs
along, and they were bringing like DJ equipment. And they were bringing this like it seemed like it was just like, wouldn't you just show up to a party and expect if they promise free beer? Wouldn't you just expect free beer?
Especially as a high school kid, to buy a keg of beer as a high school student.
Yeah,
like you better know somebody. Maybe you have an older brother or sister, but where do you get the money for that?
Right,
as a poor high school student.
But as big as this house was, I'd like to think that the place was too overcrowded. It seemed like the entire school was there, and it's a huge ass school.
He was trying to save, things, and there was just no saving.
That's what bumps it down to peg for me, is because it seemed too big, and also was there a pool? I don't think.
I don't think
I
there was
didn't see
a pool.
So that you lose a point because you don't have a pool because you gotta have a pool.
Nobody was jumping in.
So what do you have some parties to compare them to?
Let's the first one that comes to mind to me is the Can't Hardly Wait party.
The Can't Hardly Wait
where
party.
the kid from Hook sings with the band.
Yes.
With freaking Breckin Meyer.
It's Love Burger.
Yeah, Love Burger.
Yeah, the Love Burger is the name of their band.
Breckin Meyer, the 45-year-old man playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah, the dude from the black boyfriend from Clueless.
Oh yeah. Well, he was the other guy, right?
Donald
Faison.
Donald Faison from
also in
Scrubs.
Scrubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a sentimental party because it's high school graduation.
That was a good party.
So there's a reason for the party. So that's number 1. Number 2, live band, even though they never really sing a song because they always fight.
And it was a planned party. Like it wasn't a trick party.
Mike Dexter's there.
Yeah.
So that's like a gift and a curse because you get your ass beat by Mike Dexter. If you say the wrong thing, he'll kick everyone's ass in this room.
I mean, the
Pop
kid
brownies.
From,
Pop brownies.
That's a hell of a party there.
Endless beer.
Cousins hitting on cousins.
Cousins hitting on cousins.
That's a hell of a party.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
Barry Manilow.
Right, Barry.
You know? Nick Papagiorgio's there.
Nick Papagiorgio is in that movie.
There's so many good things with this party, and it's a good time. It's just a good time with it's the end of an area. A lot of these kids might not never see each other ever again. So I'm going 8.5 to 9 might be the winner.
What about the party from Weird Science?
Weird Science, that's like a 2. I'm way down on that.
But
party.
Lisa threw that party. Man.
I know, but she's not a real person. She's a bot. We talked about bots before.
She's real to me, damn it.
It's too wild. It's too wild. I'm not into that kind of scene.
You don't like it?
There's motorcycles. There's weapons. You know,
they do. They have like a mutant biker gang that comes there.
No, it's too crazy. I don't need to get too crazy.
You don't want to die.
There's grandparents in the closets. No, I don't like that. There's too much going on. I'm not that wild.
What about American Pie? Let's go with American Pie 2.
American Pie 2 is the best of all American Pie bashes.
It is
because they planned it out. Our buddy Kevin planned it out. You know, you gotta have the end of the summer rager
to the next step.
Yeah, to the next step. I think his older brother told him how to party.
Yeah,
and it worked out well.
They pulled out the secret yearbook.
Yeah. They didn't have to hide the party with Stifler's mom, it wasn't a high school party. It was freshman of college party, which you think you're better, but you're not at all.
Right,
you're still trying to hang on to old times.
They're like, oh, we're gonna just be so cool.
Yeah, you're trying to hang on to old times, but they are alone. So they were alone, and they were able to do things on their own. I'd like to say I still go with Can't Hardly Wait over that.
It's a better party.
But American Pie 2 is a close second party.
American Pie 2 is getting my number 1 vote.
Yeah.
You
have a soft spot for that entire
I just love that movie. You know, I'm like the weirdest guy. Like, randomly, I'll just be like, you know what? I want to watch American Pie 2.
Yeah.
Like, of all the sequels that I could watch,
and
it's just a classic movie to me.
And as we were watching this movie, the Michael character, the dork, you were saying the whole time, this needs to be Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
So it's like, You just try to throw American
I
Pie
don't
into
know.
everything.
I know it's not a good movie, but I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those movies that you just watch when it's on.
It's a small role. Can't we do better than
Yeah,
this? You
that's
give
what
Jason
I mean.
Biggs in there.
Jason Biggs would have been awesome
Yeah.
as that. A couple more here. Just what about Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused. See, we're going back in time. You see, this is when you could just go in the field and smoke pot. Nobody would care about it. So that's the thing. I mean, they were hanging out at the bars for a while,
Yeah.
and nobody cared that they were underage, or maybe they were of age. If you're 18, are you allowed to have beer in 1976?
Probably.
You know,
Maybe what
79,
state?
I
I
think it
don't
was
know.
79.
Whatever state it was.
Yeah. Then they have this big bash at like a field at the end of the party, and I want to be at that party. I actually changed my vote. That's the best.
That's your party?
because they're smoking, they're drinking, they got kegs, carefree, music flowing. Outdoor party is the way to go.
That's your best party
Yeah, it's
ever?
outdoor party. It's the way to go.
I think that's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, one last point before we sign off that it might seem kind of out of left field here, but it's random.
Yeah.
But this high school guidance counselor
Ooh, she
in
was-
this movie,
she was sexed up.
man, she was writing like a smut novel.
Yes.
Like while she a guidance counselor or principal? I don't even know.
I think she's got a counselor. Yeah.
Maybe she's both. But she was writing her own version of 50 Shades of Grey. I
Yes.
mean, the words quivering member,
Quivering member.
were used. Which don't even get me started on the word member.
Yes.
Like, it's the most ridiculous word. I'm
It's
sorry.
dirtier than dick.
Yeah, it
All right?
is.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Did this book come out? Did she release this book?
I feel like she definitely released it. And in my mind, she has a series of books. And it's called The Teacher's Lounge. The Teacher's Lounge, and then insert
You gotta
title
have a colon,
here.
man. You gotta
And
have a
then-
colon.
And then insert title here.
You gotta have a colon. Like, give me what names do you think she would have made?
Jotted a few down. Let's see. We got, we'll go with The Substitute.
Teacher's Lounge,
Yeah.
colon, the substitute.
Yeah. And it's always about her. It's her, from her character's point of view, sexing up a different teacher.
Like
Right.
a new teacher comes into the district.
Yes. And so this one in particular is The Substitute. Now, sometimes it's a male, sometimes it's a female.
Ah,
So
you got
she-
both.
Yeah, she'll
Maybe
she'll,
it's a male and a female. Maybe
she'll go
it's
bisexual.
multiple.
She doesn't discriminate. Sexual education. You got the health teacher. The teacher's pet,
Oh,
which
that's
is
a good one.
like what do you call that? Like not the teacher's aide, but
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
understudy.
like the teacher's aide,
Is
like
it
the,
called teacher's
intern
aide?
slash
Yeah,
whatever.
This kid's in college,
Yeah.
teacher's pet. But my personal favorite, the math one.
Oh,
Length times width equals satisfaction. Yeah.
I like the other one that you said. Straight laid student.
Straight laid student,
With the A.
Yep, that's right. That was a little taboo because that one is where the kid is 19 years old. He failed.
Multiple times.
He failed multiple times, but he got it, and she helped him along the way.
What if she failed him on purpose so that
Yes.
he would stick around?
Yes, until he's old enough.
It's like she fails him on purpose
Oh man,
so that he sticks around.
Yeah.
Because she just
she had to make him legal.
the wheels are falling off the bus on
She
this
could
one
get
here.
fired for that affair, but she won't get arrested for it. So it's not as big of a risk.
But it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's taboo. Oh man. Do you think our teachers did this? Did our teachers write this stuff?
Well,
Where-
did we tell? We may or may not have told the story about one of our
Oh,
teachers from
man.
our high school
a
who
good
were actually caught on the show G String Divas on HBO. They were patrons on the show, like in the background. A couple of our teachers
Oh,
from our
man.
high school,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Everybody knew
It was
too.
insane.
Which was
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
So,
everyone went nuts.
If you're familiar with the show G String Divas, which is like a documentary on a strip club in I think Atlantic City.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
in
it was Atlantic
AC.
City. Yeah, and we're from the Pennsylvania area, so
Yeah.
it's close by. So we saw 3 of our horn dog teachers as patrons as we were in high school. It's insane. Like that's like a dream come true.
The funniest part about that is that it could be anybody. It's not like they were on the Cat House
Yeah.
or something like crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I mean, they probably had a bachelor party. Or
Yeah, it's like
something.
there's multiple reasons why, but I don't know what kind of 40, 50-year-old men are at a bachelor party.
yeah. That
Come on, man. They're there every Thursday.
They're there
right?
to indulge.
They take their road trip.
Oh man. Oh,
But anyway, we may have exhausted our.
I think we've exhausted our energy and topic.
Yeah.
So
So next week, in honor of football season starting up, we're going to be doing the movie The Replacements. We got Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman, and,
the hack himself.
and the like. So we'll be doing Replacements, and also in the future, as with our haters episode that we did previously, Internet Haters, We're going to be doing themed episodes, or we're going to be looking into doing it anyway. So if you have any ideas for any themes for movies or genres or a genre cluster, feel free to give us your suggestions, email, Twitter, Facebook us, whatever, if you have any suggestions for that, and we can take those into consideration.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing Google Hangouts maybe at some point, talking about some things. So if you guys want to come hang out with us, we'll do a chat, maybe do Q&A, whatever we want to do. So we're open to anything. So just send us an email, thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. You can go to our website, thelastrowpodcast.com. Hit us up on Twitter at thelastrowpod. We're also on Facebook. Any other way you want to get in touch with us, and we'll be there.
Send us a letter.
Yeah, send us a snail mail letter, and we'll write you back. But on that note, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks here.